In the land of the sunshine and sea, where the rhythm of reggae sets us free, we reflect on the history that has been to find
Yes, another day going on to work. It's always good to just have a reflection in the morning, and that is always important. Yeah, but I want to reflect. I have done a lot of teaching over my lifetime, and I've taught early childhood education. I taught children 5-year-old and 6. I've taught multi-level 5-6 grade at one time. I've taught in the high school era. I've also taught at the university level. So I do come with a lot. So sometimes when I really engage in a conversation, majority of my life has been spent on teaching, designing curriculum, and doing things related to teaching. But one experience I had when I taught children 5 and 6-year-old was a young man. Yes, I remember him distinctly, and as I'm driving now, I can remember his face. His face was very hard as it relates to his image. He looked as if he had spent years on this planet when he was just 5. But within that time, I realized that there was something wrong with this boy. This boy needed love and attention and care. And many individuals do not understand that child development is important, especially at this stage. I wish governments across the world would understand the importance of investing in early childhood education and services to ensure that these individuals are all right. This young boy was struggling. On my watch means I'm going to protect that child. I'm going to ensure that everything's all right with that child. I'm going to ensure that the child is learning because I'm concerned about that child. And that's who I am. And it so happened that one day the child came back with a broken arm, and I was curious. I was curious, why was this child's arm broken? This was a 5-year-old. And his mom came in, and I said, what happened to the young man? Because I'm a concerned teacher. Back in those days, we were not forced to report incidents to the police in Jamaica. I'm sure it's a part of the system there now. Now, I saw the woman, and I gave a talk to the woman. I said to her, ma'am, could you tell me what happened to the child, please? Because I'm really concerned. She said to me, the father broke the child's arm. I was shocked. I was taken aback. I was angry. How could you break a 5-year-old's arm? And as a matter of fact, I said, why don't you report it to the police? She said to me, when he did that, she had to jump through the window. And I'm saying, but this cannot continue. And then she mentioned his name, and I remembered the area that he came from, and I remembered the name. I'm not going to call the name. And it so happened that I was annoyed. But over the years, I wondered what happened to that boy. Always asking what happened to the father and what happened to the boy. Yes, because sadly, to say, children in an environment without care and protection will never be able to reach their full potential. So when you see these men who are awful individuals, and of course some of them become gunmen in Jamaica, they have been living that lifestyle a long time ago. They have been socialized in it, and they have never been given the opportunity to see a different life. So I continue to ask about this young man because I'm curious, and I asked a friend of mine. One of the boys shot a policeman, and eventually he was, of course, taken out. According to Jamaicans, these 3 points were taken out. And I made an alignment and realized it's possible that's the same boy. Yeah, the same boy. And eventually, the father was surrounded by police one day, and he said he didn't have any weapons, and of course, his 3 points were taken out. You know, he was a gangster, he was a bad man. But it saddens me because this young man was never rude to me. He was always quiet. He was always searching for that love. And I did what I could. But I'm saying to myself, did I do? But I've always said to myself, did I do the maximum? And that really gets to you sometime. But eventually, I look at it and I say, you know, the environment that he grew up in did not give him a chance to grow up to enjoy his childhood. He was abused. Yes, he was abused. A 5-year-old, broken arm, and his mother is afraid to go to the police about the incident. There are situations in Jamaica where a parent will not report another parent because they are afraid that they will not be able to survive when the other parent goes to jail. If that is the case. I taught at a Montego Secondary School. Now it's called St. James High. This boy had a reputation of being awful, not behaving well. But also he needed love. He needed love and he needed attention. And I would pull him up. I wouldn't try to embarrass him because you can't embarrass these children when others are around. One of my key operations was to take them away and talk to them nicely. Give them the respect, they'll give it to you. And one particular day, I said to him, are you going to go through the whole day misbehaving? Can't you just do one thing good for the day and go to your class and do your work? And I spoke to him with love. Yes, I didn't cuss him. I spoke to him nicely. At the end of the day, he said to me, Mr. Joel, I want to talk to you. I said, what is it, sir? And I always call him sir. He said to me, look at the report. I was able to do my work today, you know. I said, my goodness. I would see him in Montego Bay with his face twisted up. And I'm walking. I said, come here. Why your face looking like that? Why your face looking like that? You don't have any more worries than I do. I would jokingly say that, you know. And he would laugh and he said, you don't even know. But I understood. Where he lived was not an area that you would be in peace and tranquility all the time. I knew that. But I reached out to him in love. The investment in early childhood education is fundamental in reducing some of these problems we're having. Because if a child gets an equal opportunity to be successful, regardless of where they're living, Riverton City or wherever, and is given the opportunity to succeed, it means what? We have reduced the likelihood of that individual taking a pathway that is not within our civil society that we want, that is. And of course, yes, you're building big roads, yes, you're upgrading the hospitals, but let us build our children. The impact has shown will reduce criminality, will create more productive citizens in our society, and of course will lead us into a division of progress that Jamaica has never seen before. But we must invest in early childhood education. So when I look at the situation with both boys could have been successful Jamaicans, or the possibility existed back then if they were given the opportunity that would allow them to scope their lives in a different fashion. And the opportunity means talking to mothers, talking to fathers, even that bad man that say he was bad man from a certain area, I won't call the area, broke his child's arm. He would have seen the light, hopefully, because that's the journey. Many parents don't want their children to follow their footsteps. Yeah, like in Jamaica, we invest in highways, we need to invest in our children. That's my critical thought.
In the land of the sunshine and sea, where the rhythm of reggae sets us free, we reflect on the history that has been, to find the strength in the roots of our kin. In the melodies that softly sway, we find solace in words they say, for the past holds stories of joy and rhythms ring in the echoes of Bob and Peter's hush. Their voices rise above the noise and the hush. They speak of love and revolution's call, a rhythm that unites and conquers all.